My name is Elmar. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to discuss one interesting question in epistemology. What does it mean to know? It's our main question. In order to answer to this question, we must analyze several kinds of knowledge. They are propositional knowledge, acquaintance knowledge, and how-to knowledge. In other words, we can use three senses of knowledge, and we can distinguish or divide the extension of this knowledge into three categories. As I've mentioned before, they are propositional knowledge, acquaintance knowledge, and how-to knowledge. Our first question is that what is propositional knowledge? In order to answer to this question, we can formulate our definition in the following way. Propositional knowledge is knowledge of facts or two propositions. In order to understand the meaning of this definition, we can use these examples. Our first example is that x knows that 2 plus 2 equals to 4. It is a mathematical proposition, and we know that it is a proposition. For example, if I say 2 plus 2 equals to 5, it means that my proposition will be false. And my second example is not a mathematical proposition. It is expressed in the natural language. X knows that the sky is blue, but this proposition is also true. If I take the content of this proposition and compare it with the reality, I can face with the true fact or knowledge of true fact. And our next question is that what is the difference between a proposition and a sentence in the context of epistemology? Because in the context of logic, for example, we can answer to this question in a different way. But here, we can only mention that proposition is not the same as a sentence. They are completely different concepts, but there is some connection between them. For example, I can use two sentences expressed in different languages. Sentence 1, X knows that the sky is blue. Of course, this sentence is in English. And sentence 2, X believe ki sama mavi renktedir. And this sentence is in Azerbaijani. It is different language. Despite of the fact that I've expressed my thought into different languages, I've used the same proposition. And our next question, what is acquaintance knowledge? As we mentioned before, it is second type of the knowledge. And in order to understand the meaning of this knowledge, we can use two definitions here. Definition 1, to say that X has acquaintance knowledge of someone is to imply that he is acquainted with him or that he has met him. It is somehow related to the first-hand experience. For example, in our example 1, we can say that X knows the President of the United States. It means that X has acquaintance knowledge of the President in this sense. He has met with him, maybe had some conversation, and can give us some information about this meeting, about this first-hand experience. But acquaintance knowledge cannot only be associated with persons or personal meetings. For example, in the definition 2, we can say that to say that X has acquaintance knowledge of somewhere or the taste of something is to imply that he has been there or has tasted it. Example 2. In order to understand definition 2, we have used two examples here. Example 2, X knows Paris. It means that X has acquaintance knowledge of Paris. He has been to this city, maybe visited some museums or other historical places, etc. And all of them are related to the first-hand experience. And our example 3, X knows the taste of apple. It means that X has acquaintance knowledge of the taste of this fruit. Okay. And our next question is, what is the difference between acquaintance knowledge and propositional knowledge? At the beginning, we must emphasize that they are not the same. Okay. One can have a great deal of propositional knowledge about someone without having acquaintance knowledge of him. I might have, for example, a great deal of propositional knowledge about David Chalmers. He is a very famous philosopher, especially in the field of philosophy of mind. I can give you a lot of additional information about this philosopher, about his philosophical works, etc. However, it would not follow that I have acquaintance knowledge of him, since I have not acquainted with him and have not met him. Okay. And our last kind of knowledge, what is how to knowledge? We can use how to, the word combination of how to, in two senses. Sense 1. When we say X knows how to Y, we mean or imply that X has the ability to Y. Example 1. X knows how to write a philosophical essay. And this implies that X has the ability to write a philosophical essay. Maybe this person has already published his philosophical essay. We can read this book and take some information, knowledge, etc. Note, only in the sense 1 the given knowledge is how to knowledge. Because if we move to sense 2, despite of the fact that we can use how to word combination, it cannot be related to the how to knowledge itself. Okay, let's analyze sense 2. When we say X knows how to Y, we don't mean or imply that X has the ability to Y. For example, X knows how to write a philosophical essay. However, this does not imply that X has ability to write a philosophical essay. He just technically or theoretically knows how to write it. For example, it can know that philosophical essay requires some philosophical topic. Any author must analyze this topic in original way, discuss it, justify his arguments, and at the end he can generate new philosophical idea. But all of them are related to the theoretical knowledge, and in this sense too, the given knowledge cannot be related to the how to knowledge. It can only express propositional knowledge, okay, which we have already analyzed at the beginning of our lecture. And one interesting question, is it possible to have the ability to do something without having much propositional knowledge about it? Yes, it's possible. Consider a baby who is 10 months old and had just learned to walk. He knows how to walk, but we can easily imagine that he lacks the propositional knowledge about how to walk, because his still immature brain cannot generate such knowledge. It is a brilliant example for the situation where we can have how to knowledge without having propositional knowledge. Okay. And our next question is that, which kind of knowledge does philosophy deal with? Propositional knowledge, acquaintance knowledge, or how to knowledge? Okay, let's answer to this question, very interesting question. Traditionally, philosophers have been most concerned with propositional knowledge because they are typically concerned with what is true from the point of view of classical logic, that is, two-valid logic. Any propositional knowledge is either true or false. If this proposition is true, we can evaluate it as the one, or if it is false, we should add 0 to this evaluation. However, acquaintance knowledge and how-to knowledge are not in the same way truth-focused as propositional knowledge. Okay, that's all which I wanted to discuss with you. Thank you for watching to our video lecture.